When I got back from deployment, I thought the hard part was over. Turns out that was just the beginning. The bombs, the gunfire, the constant alertness. It stayed with me long after I came home. I'd sit alone in my house, curtains drawn, barely sleeping, flinching at every noise. I wasn't living. I was surviving. Until I met Daisy. She's my service dog, a beautiful German shepherd with this warm, watchful presence. She didn't just get me out of the house. She got me back into life. One paw at a time. I started walking again, getting some air, making it to therapy. Her training was top-notch. She knew how to ground me when my mind spiraled and gave me something to focus on besides fear. We moved into this quiet neighborhood just outside Tulsa. Seemed like a peaceful enough place. But there was this woman, Marlene, president of the HOA. She introduced herself the day I moved in, wore pearls to walk her poodle, barked orders at the gardeners, and called every rule in the HOA manual non-negotiable. She had this way of smiling at you like she was reading your flaws out loud in her head. The first time she saw Daisy, she stopped me mid-walk. "Excuse me," she said, eyeing my girl like she was a wild animal. "I believe our community guidelines prohibit dogs, especially large ones like that." "She's a service animal," I replied, trying to keep my voice calm. Marlene scoffed. "Oh, come on. Everyone claims that now. You look perfectly healthy to me. No cane, no limp." I wanted to tell her that just because someone looks okay on the outside doesn't mean they aren't fighting demons inside, but I didn't. I just said, "That's not something you're allowed to question." Well, she huffed. "I'm the HOA president. It is absolutely something I must question. Rules are rules." From that moment on, she made it her personal mission to make my life miserable. Petty violation notices, threats of fines, passive-aggressive emails to the entire neighborhood warning about unregistered animals. One time, she even left a flyer about pet allergies and neighborhood hygiene in my mailbox. With a highlighted paragraph, I tried to ignore her. Daisy helped. Her steady presence kept me grounded until the day everything blew up. It was a Wednesday afternoon, warm, quiet. Daisy and I were walking our usual route. I remember noticing how peaceful everything felt. Birds chirping, kids riding scooters, wind rustling the trees. Then, out of nowhere, a loud crack. A gunshot. Daisy yelped, collapsed, and I dropped to my knees. I didn't see the shooter. At first, I only saw Daisy bleeding, trying to crawl toward me. My whole body went into panic mode. I could hear screaming. Someone was yelling. I think it was me. The next few seconds were a blur. By the time I came to, I was in the hospital, strapped to a bed, sedated. A nurse told me I was safe, that Daisy was alive. Barely, but stable. Turns out Marlene had pulled the trigger. She claimed she felt threatened, said she'd warned me, and had no other choice. The cops arrested her at the scene. Apparently, I tackled her. After she fired, wrestled the gun from her hands, and broke her nose in the process. none of which I remembered. The officers ruled it as self-defense. Daisy survived. She had a bullet graze along her flank, but no internal damage. She was stitched up and released before me, waited by my hospital bed, tail wagging slowly, bandaged up, but alert like she knew I needed her more than ever. When I got out, there were charges filed against Marlene: animal cruelty, reckless endangerment, illegal discharge of a weapon, and most importantly, violating the Americans with Disabilities Act. You see, under federal law, a service animal is classified as medical equipment. Shooting Daisy was the legal equivalent of tearing out someone's oxygen tank or smashing their wheelchair. There's no HOA rule in the country that overrides the ADA. Her claim that no dogs were allowed meant nothing. In fact, her attempt to enforce it violently made her a criminal. We went to court a few weeks later. She showed up in a neck brace and heavy makeup, probably hoping for sympathy. But it backfired. I showed up in uniform. I hadn't worn it since I got out, but I wanted the jury and Marlene to see exactly who she'd decided to target. She didn't stand a chance. Her lawyer looked miserable. The judge asked one question. Did you know this dog was a service animal? Her answer: I didn't believe he was disabled. He was walking just fine. That one sentence was all it took. You could feel the whole room turn against her. Even her own neighbors. Especially when my attorney read off parts of the ADA highlighting how nobody is legally required to disclose their disability, how only 2 questions are allowed. Is it a service dog? And what task is it trained to perform? Marlene had broken both those guidelines. Then she'd pulled a gun. She was sentenced to 18 months. The HOA board sent me a letter afterward, said her actions didn't reflect their values, that they respected my rights, and they'd support me if anyone else gave me trouble. Whether that was sincere or just legal damage control, I didn't care. Daisy was healing. So was I. But that wasn't the end. A week after the verdict, someone rang my doorbell. It was Mr. Jenkins, the old man, from 3 doors down. He held a small box of homemade cookies and said, "I'm sorry I didn't speak up sooner. I saw how she treated you. I should have said something." Then Mrs. Patel came by the next day. Then a teenager from the cul-de-sac brought Daisy a squeaky toy. One by one, people started showing they cared, not just because Marlene was gone, but because they finally understood what Daisy meant to me. This whole thing, it tore me apart, but it also reminded me that justice can work, that people can change their minds, that even in the middle of a community that felt hostile, I wasn't completely alone. I'm not saying I've fully recovered. I still jump at fireworks. I still have nightmares. But now every time I wake up gasping, Daisy's there, head on my chest, warm and steady. She saved me once. I like to think I saved her too. So yeah, the HOA tried to ban my service dog. Karen pulled a gun. She thought the rules gave her power, but the law and decency saw through her. And now, it's just me and Daisy walking forward one step at a time. So tell me, where do you stand? Was justice served? Do HOA boards have too much power? Have you seen someone misuse authority like this before? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one. And hey, give your dog a treat for me.